Okay, let's start. Hi Joe, how are you?
I'm doing really good.
Okay, Joe, tell us who you are and what you do inside Ubisoft Paris.
Okay, I'm Joe Gingras. I work as part of the game design realization team at Ubisoft Paris on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And to tell you a little bit more about what game design realization is, essentially we're the visual voice of game design. What we do is, you know, when designers come up with a feature or a request, it takes the shape of text on a page, right? So it's about the worst enemy of any team trying to develop something, because text is open to the interpretation of everybody. Somebody can say, oh yeah, this feature is going to be pink, and somebody else will say, no, it's blue. And it's the same thing, it's the same text, right? And so we come in to essentially propose a solution that's going to have everybody converge on one interpretation. And so this is what we do. A big part of what we do also is authenticity research. So because Ghost Recon Breakpoint is about special force operation experience, we team up with consultants and work with them to extract what it is that happens in real life and then inject it in the game.
Okay. Well, one of the main things, or one of the main changes Ghost Recon Breakpoint bring to the formula is the idea of like an RPG system.
Yeah.
It's quite different from what we saw during Wildlands. It's more close to what we have seen during the Division 1 and 2. Why did the studio decided to use this mechanic inside this game that I actually think it works inside the game.
Yeah.
But it was quite a big change.
It's a shock because it's so different. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, when we develop games at Ubisoft, we have, I guess, 3 parameters that you have to keep in mind. One, we have our own ideas of what we would like the player to live as an experience, because everything we do is for the player. Then second is we're working for Ubisoft. Ubisoft publishes its own game, but there's an editorial department that validates if a game is going to get developed and published. And so anything we do is then evaluated by them, and they're going to have requests. And then third, and I'd say probably the most important, is the community. The community, we analyze what they provide us, we listen to their comments, and we I guess those are the 2 ways we get to analyze their thing, because we have a community development department inside our team that is in charge of doing this dialogue with the community. And so those 3 elements combined together, the request of the community wanting to have a deeper experience with Ghost Recon, to have a progression system that was more engaging, longer as an experience. Also, the fact that editorial said yes, it is something that we want in a game to have a progression system, and us providing our own solution, our own version of what it was, the progression system, is the result of what you see now in the game.
Okay. Well, this actually is not your department, but it's something that was pretty curious since the announcement of the game. In the first trailer, we knew that Cole Walker was gonna be the bad guy, and well, you play the campaign and you realize that not everything is as black and white as it seems.
Oh no! And this is part of what we wanted.
That's what I want to ask. Why the team at Ubisoft decided to go for that route? Okay, I know that the idea after playing part of the campaign, you realize that okay, this is taking a road I actually didn't thought they will take. But as, for example, someone that haven't even played the game, seen the trailers, why did the team at Ubisoft decide to take that choice?
Okay, first of all, this is at the very core of the special force operation, the gray zone. When they have to decide, and it's not so black and white, they have to take a stand, they have to choose. And so this was a way for us to bring that element in, to make the player kind of feel like, well, you know, he's not that bad. He's got good ideas, but maybe he's got bad ways to execute his ideas, you know? And so you kind of feel bad about it. You're not too sure how to position yourself. And because this game is an interactive game, we want the player to decide for himself what he's going to do and what he's going to decide to position himself as.
Well, during the announcement, Ubisoft or the game directors said that the idea of Breakpoint was actually change the roles. In Wildlands, in Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Advanced Warfighter, we, the player, were like the powerful unit. For example, in Wildlands in Bolivia, even if we were in another country, we have all the support of the US, of our Ghost teams. Now in Breakpoint, we're alone.
Yes.
Where we find some ghosts scattered, but actually it's all us. The game, as you might have said, the player is now the hunted instead of the hunter.
Yes.
How different, how hard was to change the core of Ghost Recon to be the powerful man, the man who have every resource at hand, to this soldier that have to improvise, have to be resourceful and everything?
Well, you know, it's funny because this was one of the 4 pillars that our creative director gave us at the very beginning of conception. When we started working on the game, he said, okay, enough of being, you know, the superheroes. Now we're gonna live what the actual special force operators are living. You are without resources. You have to be, as you're saying, you know, able to improvise, able to survive, able to find those solutions that you're gonna need without all the support of the military or whatever else that you usually have around you, you know? And so, this was one of the ways, right? To have you play as a lone wolf instead of with your team. To have you also, and you probably noticed that if you turn off the guided mode, then you're like a detective. You have to find the hints around the world and put them together and trying to figure out what your next mission is going to be and where it is and how to get there. And all of that, to me, you know, responds to one of those 4 pillars. Because if I give them to you, right, it was raw realism, so a dramatic and serious tone, so no more joking around. Then the other one is life is harsh, so it is really difficult to achieve those missions as a special force operator because of how you have to survive to the world, but also to your enemies. Then the other one was special force operator fantasy, which is always at the core of any Ghost Recon game. The last one was mystery and wonder. This pillar has to do with how beautiful the world is, but also how big, wide, and how dangerous it is. So, since the game was about those 4 pillars from the get-go, of course, this is the experience you're getting.
Okay, this one is short. Last one, we talk a little bit about Aurora. It's located in Oceania.
Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, Pacific Ocean, near Australia.
Yeah.
Why you work? Well, okay. Wildlands was in Bolivia.
Yeah.
There was a real place. How much research you have to do to create Aurora?
Okay.
How much research?
So let's back up a little bit. First of all, you're familiar with the Tom Clancy family games, right?
Yes.
So
Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, my favorite, Splinter Cell, and
The Division and War and all those games, right? You know that the Tom Clancy games always revolve around a what if. So we take a situation or a location and then say, what if this happened here? Or what if this happened to this situation? And for Breakpoint, it was, what had happened? What if a big tech company established a World 2.0 in an isolated place and it turned bad? And what if an ex-ghost decided to go rogue and fight against you? And we found that trying to establish ourselves in a location that existed was limiting to us because we wanted to be able to expand the world with the post-launch content, but also to create this world that was custom fit for us for scale tech to be what it is as you find it in the game, right? And so, yes, the research was big, and even though it's a fictional world, it's inspired by actual Pacific Ocean islands, so like New Zealand and stuff like that, where we documented ourselves as much as we could and kind of reproduced that in a custom fashion.
Okay. Joe, thank you very much. It's nice to have you here. You're showing us Ghost Recon. I think it's your first time here, and also here in Sofa, which is actually it's kind of like our version of Comic Con.
Comic Con, yeah.
Thanks. But it's nice to have you here. It was great for you to answer our questions, and thank you very much.
Thanks to you. It's great to be here.
Thank you, Joe.